Time now for our national perspective as Browns alum John Greco, a man who certainly was familiar with this offense or this style of offense back in 2014 when Kyle was in town as he was a member of the Browns. Let's listen to him. I was able to catch up with him last night in our national perspective, brought to you by Global Transport. So the Browns offense now, I don't know if you've been following along on Browns Live. I'm sure it's destination viewing for you, like the millions and millions of Browns fans around the world. But the offense, it's taken some time. No OTAs, no mini camp. They're getting right into it. So kind of walk us through, as somebody who's been in this offense, what does it take to get this offense to click?
You know, the thing that takes is just repetitions. And, it's kind of, I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth. This offense is schematically something that's easy to pick up, easy to understand. You don't have a lot of volume, a lot of big giant playbook. It's conceptually easy to understand, but the teams that are really, really good at it are good because of repetitions. So, Cleveland, as every team's under the gun, you're preparing very fast and under short notice and a small window of opportunity and time. But that's the thing. It's how quick is that learning curve? How fast can these guys understand the concept, gel together, get their footwork down, think fast and react. And when you can be comfortable in this offense and play fast without thinking, that's when you start clicking and firing also on those cylinders.
Yeah, we've already seen the famous leak play that was so good for Jordan Cameron and you guys in 2014 with Baker going to Austin Hooper for a big play. Because as you said, you stress those guys. And Baker has been so good his whole career moving outside of the pocket. So this offense, you would say, seems to suit his skill set pretty well.
Yeah, I think so. Get him moving, get him faking the ball. And there's always something mechanically moving, whether he's showing fakes, in play action, drop back, booting out, and throwing on the run. I think it's going to be great for him because he's an athlete. He's a player that can make tight throws and deep balls. So I'm excited to see how it's going to work for him opening up here in a few weeks. And, really the sky's the limit. Everything we've talked about since this new system was put into place. I know everything that's going on now. It's, they would want to have a full off season and workload, but it is what it is. So, how fast can those guys get everything done and have the confidence moving forward and just roll with it?
The Browns have a unique ability to run Nick Chubb at him, and then, let's just bring the 2017 NFL leading rusher in Kareem Hunt. This offense with those two backs, as a lineman, what would you be thinking?
Well, my mouth will be watering. The talent, and we've talked about it for over a year now, the talent that the front office and everybody put into place here, it's time. The guys are excited. The guys are ready. I know, Baker's playing with a chip on his shoulder. A lot of guys have a lot to prove, and I think they're hungry to do that. Coming out, I think they're primed to catch people off guard. Like we were just talking about, it's a system that you can kind of show up and there's going to be no trickery. It's going to be what you see is what you get. Line up, what's coming, try to stop us. And I'm excited to watch it.
Do you think in the early season as an offensive player, you didn't have to do tackling drills, but, in a regular offseason, a regular training camp, you have 4 preseason games, which are going to be fully live tackling. You're going to have some periods of live tackling probably sprinkled throughout training camp. We probably will never have opened a season with less live tackling to the ground being done by defenses. Do you think that in the early portion of the season, a team that is strong on the ground like the Browns could be might have an advantage? Because I don't think people are going to be getting Nick Chubb on the first look as maybe they would. And they probably don't do that anyway, but as they would in a normal season, we might see, I would imagine, sloppy tackling in the early going, which could play potentially into the Browns' favor.
I completely agree. I think you said it. The word sloppy, you're definitely going to see that. It's going to be tough because you know how in the years past, a lot of the marquee guys, a lot of the starters rest in those last couple preseason games, and I think it's obvious there's a lot of sloppy play. Coupled that with everyone not getting a lot of reps and opportunities before live bullets, I think you're going to see it. So it is going to play into offense's favors. You're going to see some missed tackling. I think you're going to see some guys that are maybe a little bit more gassed than they're used to because they don't have those full speed reps under their belt. And, you really don't get in playing shape until you actually play games. So I think early it's so crucial to start fast and get a couple wins under your belt, because when this team is clicking, hopefully in November and December, that's when they're going to be in their groove, and it's just going to be a well-oiled machine. But to start fast, I think is crucial.
All right, I'm going to leave you on this. You got me fired up for the start of the season. I don't know if you've seen what Joel Bitonio is doing on his face. I want, as a former member of that huddle with him and a former member of that line, we know Joe Thomas, not a fan. What do you think of this? It's a rapscallion's beard is the only way I could say it. It's north of the wall. It's Game of Thrones. He's a wilding.
It's definitely Game of Thrones, Wildings, Watcher on the Wall. He was down here. We played golf a couple of weeks ago, before he reported. And, he just looked, one of the guys told me he looked like one of the guys one of the guys we were playing with said he looked like one of the guys from Duck Dynasty. And it was hilarious. We were at a place and we were out by the pool, and, I stick out like a sore thumb there. There's not too many guys my size there, so everybody's staring at me. So it was kind of nice having Joel around, because he had the beard and the hair, and he just looked like Grizzly Adams. So it was good to have him in town. But I think you should keep it rolling. Let's see what this thing's potential. What's it going to look like in Christmas time?
Let's just see where it goes. That's right. Let's let it unfurl and take on a life of its own. John Greco, always a pleasure. One of the prized possessions of the Zagura household. I bet you didn't even know that I had this. That's right. It's been for many a moon.
I appreciate the support, man. It's always great talking to you. I hope we can do this again.
Hopefully in person sometime soon, John. Great seeing you. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, mate.